Monica's here. Yay. Hey, Monica. Hey, Mary Lynn. So good to see you. Hey, Alice. Thank you for coming on camera. Kelly's here. Yay. Hey, Cal. Bruce, so good to see you. Olive is here. I said hi to Monica. T, welcome, T. T is so great. She always comes, and I just so appreciate her support. And Joan is here. Welcome, Joan and Melissa. So great to have you guys here. And Dawn's going to actually be sharing some information as well, because she has a lot of experience with therapy animals. And Nancy Crow, who is a Sarah member and a good friend, she actually can't be here today, but she also sent in a couple of suggestions that I'm excited to share with you all. And welcome Anna and Shirley. So, and then T, yeah, use the chat. Thank you so much, T, for doing that. T says hi to everyone. So thank you, T. So let's get right into this. Let me pull this up. I made some just kind of key points about therapy animals. When we talk about therapy animals, I think that a lot of us think horses, because horses are used a lot for therapy for special needs kids, for kids with autism, for rehabilitation, all kinds of different things. But, you know, there's also dogs, cats, you know, wild animals. And nowadays, I mean, emotional support animals are everywhere, right? They are therapy they are therapy animals, but I think that sometimes it's easy for us to forget about them. When I was at Joe Dispenza's thing, this woman had a like a little greyhound. Her name was Vivian, and she was her emotional support dog. And what was really a bummer was Vivian was very timid, you could tell. And there was escalators that took us down to get, sometimes to go do meditations and sometimes just to go eat. And Vivian didn't like the escalators, which most dogs don't, because of the energy and the vibrations and everything. And she would drag her on it. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. So of course you can't sit there and say, hey, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. So I would just sit and offer, you know, a Reiki space to Vivian. And I would also, oh, wait, let's see. Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to pause my story with Vivian. I wanted Kelly's here and she has to leave early, so I apologize. Thank you so much for the reminder, Kelly, because you know me, I forget these things. But I want her to come on, and she's got a really amazing retreat happening in 3 weeks. And I wanted her to talk a little bit about it and share it with you. I'm so bummed that I can't go. I didn't realize it was the same weekend as my class. Otherwise, I would be there. But she does this every year. It's a really amazing retreat for women. So Kelly, I'll let you go ahead and share about what it is.
Yeah, hi everybody. So the retreat is a women's meditation retreat. It's at the Little Red Barn Farm Sanctuary in Tunbridge, Vermont, where I do a lot of my practice. I know Mary Lynn has been there, and maybe some other folks on the call. It's a beautiful spot in the rolling hills of Vermont. We're going to have meditation, yoga in the hay barn, and sound healing, along with some little mini Reiki sessions, chanting at the fireside. We have an outdoor campfire, beautiful skies, to see the night, see the stars at night, and vegan food that's done by our local community meals program. So lots of sheep and goats that we'll hang out with and practice with, and they love being with the people. So they're used to me being there. They're used to other people coming in and sitting quietly with them, and they're really receptive and fun to be around. And there are cows and dogs and a new cat, some chickens and goats, chickens and some turkeys and ducks. So it's a beautiful spot. We'll be doing several types of meditation, not just it's not, you don't have to have any Reiki experience. So if you know anybody who'd be interested that doesn't have Reiki experience, they're welcome. Mainly it's just about restoring ourselves and getting some time meditating, jump starting our meditation, and kind of as the summer winds down, preparing for our going into another busy season with everything starting up again. So It's a great time for a little break, and I have 3 or 4 spots left. We have the whole inn to ourselves, and you can stay in the inn. There's also a yurt available, which is fun. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's $600 for the weekend, and that includes everything but the room. The rooms are separate. And if you're interested, you can just contact me at heartsongreiki@gmail.com, and I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, put that in the chat. So the rooms also are very reasonable at the Little Red Barn, right, Kelly?
Yeah, because they're different rates. They're like 125 for a queen. There are 3 different types of rooms, so it's all on the information I send out. So if you wanted a double bed or a queen bed, it'd be a little bit different. And then the yurt, I think, is 125, and it sleeps a couple of people, so you can share. You know, if you want to bring a friend.
Well, and what I love most about the Little Red Barn and the property is that, one, it's set on just such a picturesque property, but also just the freedom of the animals moving around. And so you really get that kind of beautiful animal energy, but you're also in a beautiful, relaxing setting. It's not like you have dirty animals around you all the time. It's a calm space. And, you know, the people who run it, and Missy and her husband, they are just the most lovely people. And I've been there, and I am in love with the place. It is such a beautiful, serene setting. And what is the cost again, Kelly? $600?
$600 for the weekend, Friday afternoon until Sunday after lunch.
And it starts Friday at
well, we start the first meditation is around 5.
And then it ends
Eastern.
And then it ends on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll have lunch, and then people could just kind of take their times checking out. But they could stay as long as they want. So
nice. Yeah. And then I know that the yoga is going to be really fun in the barn, but also the sound healing. And T says, what are the dates again, please?
August 23rd to 25th, a couple of weeks from now, a little over 2 weeks. Yeah, and it's a small group, so it's a very intimate retreat. There's not a lot of rooms, and if you're coming with somebody, you can bunk with your friend or whatever. There's a room with twin beds, or you can share the yurt, or you can have your own room. So so far we have maybe 5 people, so it's going to be quiet and in a really nice little intimate group. And like I said, the food's great. Everything's supplied once you get there. And you can just relax and do as much or as little as you want. Bring your journal and in your bathing suit if you want to get in the brook. And you can hike. There's some great hiking paths around too.
I love that so much. And so I really encourage everyone, if you're looking for a really nice women's retreat, it's something it's so reasonably priced. I mean, you can't find another retreat like this priced at this price point, and then having a beautiful place to stay and having food served for you. I mean, you just can't beat this. So I encourage you, if you're open to doing a retreat, if you're looking for something to do to end your summer, join Kelly. It's going to be an amazing time. And so Kelly, yeah, if you could put I don't know if you have a landing page or something that you can put a link to.
Yeah, I do. I have to pull it up. Okay, I'll put that in there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Leah.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks everyone for listening to my spiel.
I really wanted Kelly to share that, because for me, I mean, I'm so bummed that I can't go. I would be there in a heartbeat. I'm so bummed that I didn't check in with her and figure out when I should schedule my August class. But this is going to be an amazing time, a couple days where you could just really recharge, relax, and get so much self-care. I know that just being out there, it's going to be amazing just to be able to do yoga and sound healing and have really yummy food. I mean,
yes.
So yeah. So I tried.
This also really quickly, if you go to my Heart Song Reiki Facebook or Instagram page, you can see there's some little videos about of me talking about the retreat, and so I show some of the animals and stuff. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh gosh, yeah, they have great animals, and the people there are so amazing too. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, do check it out and hopefully register. And I just wanted, I don't usually do this, but I wanted Kelly to share this because it's, a lot of us are feeling really stressed out right now. A lot of us are feeling really tapped out right now. And this is a really incredible opportunity for you to give back to yourself. It's really important. We talk about this all the time in class, right, Kelly? You've got back to yourself. And so this is a really great opportunity to do that. And then also have some fun and meet some really beautiful women. So,
and also support the sanctuary. So they're going into winter, and winters are hard here. So having that extra money is always helpful.
I didn't really mention that. So a portion of what they pay goes to
to the sanctuary.
So giving back. Not only are you like paying to help yourself, but you're also giving back to a really wonderful cause. And right now, shelters and sanctuaries are really hurting for money. So this is a great thing that Kelly's doing to help support them. So yeah, thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for reminding me, because you know me, I get.
I was like, wait a minute, what's she doing?
Oh, I was off and running.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So going back to the therapy animals, Vivian. So, of course, I see this woman grab Vivian and yank her onto the stairs. And this is a dog that is an emotional support dog. I think she said it was a therapy dog. I don't know, but I sat next to her at one of the sessions. But of course, the first thing, and this happens all the time, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because this could happen to you if you go to a therapy place, is that we see something that's happening to the animal that we don't like. And so our first instinct is to go, oh my God, this is wrong. I need to say something. I need to jump in. And I was like, no, that's not going to help anyone. So what I did was I just, shared the energy of what I was creating in meditation with Vivian every day. And whenever I saw Vivian, because, you see, it's really weird how you can be with 2,000 people and see the same people constantly, even though you're in totally different orbits. It's so strange. So I kept seeing Vivian, and every time I saw her, I would just say, oh my gosh, Vivian, I love you so much. And I hope you're having a wonderful time, right? In my head, and just always sending her blessings. And that's really the best thing we can do. So I wanted to share that, because there is that instinct when you're going to go help with these therapy animals, and you might see that maybe the horses are depressed, or the dogs are depressed, or maybe the dogs are starting to do some kind of weird behaviors, right? Like anxiety behaviors. Animals that are there that help people, that are therapy animals, are just like humans, right? Human caregivers. Human caregivers can get burnout. They can get irritable. They can get stressed. They can start showing signs of fatigue and compassion fatigue. And animals are no different. They're working, but a lot of times they're being used more like tools and less like a partner in the healing process. So before you even think about going to, offer help to a therapy center, make sure that the therapy center is one that is kind of in alignment with your beliefs and your practices. And then also, even if it's not, and you're like, no, I really want to go and help, we really need to put our own judgments aside, because we're there to help the animals. And what really caught me when I was, saw this woman yank Vivian onto the escalator, and I could tell Vivian was so scared, was that me thinking, my energy going, oh my God, this is bad. All that does is create funk and grossness around Vivian. So not only is she scared, she's on this escalator, then my energy is like amplifying that, because my energy is, oh my God, this is so bad, blah, blah, blah. So I had to immediately change my energy. And that's what we would want to do with all therapy animals, change our energy to one of love, to one of support, to one of, I am here, I see you, I love you, I understand, I appreciate you, I have so much gratitude in my heart for what you're doing. And that can really help us turn it around, because I can guarantee you, any therapy place you go into, you're going to see things that you may or may not like. So I'm going to go and talk about things that we can do to help. But before we even talk about that, I wanted just to talk about where your headspace is before you even go in, and finding the place that you even want to share Reiki or share meditation with. And there's no guarantee this place will be open to you, and don't get offended. Don't get worried. You can also send distant energy, distant love, distant, support. They're like shelters. They may or may not be open to what you have to offer. So I'm going to talk, and I know, so what I like to do is I'm just going to go over some highlights of what I wrote. Then I'm going to turn it over to Dawn to share some really incredible information about some of the places where she goes and their ethos, because it's really incredible. So let me get through mine so we have plenty of time here. And I will share. So here, I'm going to mute everyone for right now. So if you want to talk, just go ahead and unmute yourself, or raise your hand, whatever that is. But I just want a clean recording, so I'm going to mute everybody. But let's see here. Let me get to my notes. I just had them, and of course I lost them. Here we go. Oh, nope, that's not even my notes. Sorry, everyone. I'm a little bit unorganized. Okay, here we go. So the first thing, obviously, you're going to want to figure out where you want to share your energy and your time, and making sure that it's in alignment with your beliefs, that it's a place where you can feel comfortable. Because if you choose a therapy place to go and help support these beautiful, magnificent creatures that give so much to humans, then, and you don't like the place, it's really not going to help you or the animals there, because you're going to be too distracted by thoughts of, oh my gosh, this isn't right. Oh my gosh, they're doing this wrong. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. Or there might be politics going on in the therapy center. So just make sure you check it out, do your research, do some due diligence about that. But why would you even want to go to a therapy center in the first place? Well, therapy animals, whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or whatever kind of animal, they're really doing us a great service. They're just like a human caregiver. They're helping humans to get back into their body, to help them, like either with rehabilitation, or like children with autism, getting them used to another being and being able to connect, right? So they're doing some really incredible work. But just like humans, they can get burnout. They can experience stress. And so we have this great service, right? Whether you know official animal Reiki or not, from all these calls that I've done, you know that being in the energy of love, sharing the energy of love, is incredibly healing. So of course, we're going to want to go and help the animals and recharge them, help them feel seen, heard, and appreciated, right? The three things that all beings want, the three things that makes all beings thrive: being seen, being heard, being appreciated. And we can do that with the therapy animals. So one of the things in the Let Animals Lead method is that we practice mindfulness and presence. And one of our third pillars that we practice is seeing with our heart and not our eyes. We approach all animals in the energy of love, right? So we create that beautiful energy of love in our hearts. And we have different ways, we have different tools to keep us in that energy. And then we go sit with the animal and we just share that. We don't judge. We don't feel sorry for them. We don't try to fix them. That's one of the things. When you try to fix someone, you're saying you're broken and you can't fix yourself. These animals, even when they're shut down, even when they are in their own trauma or stress, they still have so much more to offer us spiritually than we do for them. Because if you think about animals, they don't have to go, okay, I've got to clear my chakras, I've got to balance myself, I got to do the precepts. They just, if they're in a calm space and they can connect to that calm space, boom, they're calm, right? And a healthy animal can get to that space very easily. A stressed animal, they need support, they need help. And that's where we can come in. We come in with this beautiful energy and space of love, of acceptance and gratitude, right? Gratitude. And we also see them as teachers and partners. We don't see them as, hey, I am this Reiki person, or I am this person and you're broken and I'm going to fix you by sharing this beautiful energy of love. Okay, already we're out of that energy of love, because in our ego, we're up here, they're down here. And really it's opposite. They're up here and we're trying to get there. So we can help them to elevate to this beautiful space where they can rise above their pain and suffering by creating this beautiful presence of love. But we have to work a little bit harder at it. But if we can go in there and offer that without any type of attachment to, oh my gosh, you're broken, or oh my gosh, you're suffering, if we can let that go, then we can be of so much help to them. We can be the difference between changing them from shut down to open to loving to back on their feet, ready to help again, right? I remember if you've taken Kathleen's level 1 class or mine or Kelly's, there's a story in the manuals, and I know I've shared this with all of you before, but for those of you who don't know it, that there is a story of an equine, they were in equine therapy, they were retired equine therapy horses, but they were all shut down. And a Reiki person went in there and, oh, you're broken, I'm going to fix you, I'm going to do hands-on healing. And the horses chased her out of the round pen. So when Kathleen came with her class, the woman said, my horses don't like Reiki, and they probably are going to chase you out. And Kathleen said, well, we don't go into the round pen. And if they don't like what we're offering, we will leave. Well, of course, in the space of love, in the space of gratitude, in the space of, I see you, I hear you, you're important, I appreciate you, right? That space, the horses completely relaxed. They not only relaxed, but they lovingly accepted all the energy that was being shared. And then when the practitioners left, the horses started to run around, started to roll on the ground, act like young horses again. And the owner could not believe it. The founder of this rescue couldn't believe it. She's like, these are old shut down horses that wouldn't even connect, and now they're happy and they're running around and they're rolling and they're exhibiting that beautiful, wonderful behavior of, I am happy, I feel loved, I feel seen. So that's something that we can, which is so important, that we can offer if we can let go of our egos and just get into that space of love. And once we do get into that space of love, then we're creating this beautiful safe space for the horses or the dogs or the cats to then feel supported and appreciated. And one of the beautiful things about this method of Animal Reiki is it's one of the only ones that supports the emotional needs of the animal. So we're not here to create more trauma. We're not here to make the animal feel that they're broken. We're here to create this beautiful space of love. And in that space, when they feel supported, they start to let go and trust, just like the horses at the therapy horse rescue center, right? They learn to just let go and lean into that support. And that's a beautiful offering that we can give to these animals that give so much to humans. And again, one of the things that we do in the Let Animals Lead way is we honor all animals as our teachers and our partners. So when we go in with that open heart of, I'm here to learn from you. I so appreciate being in this space with you. And when we're open to learning, they can teach us so much. And almost 100% of the time, when we go to sit with an animal in that space, we are healed, right? You might go into a space having a fight with a partner or somebody, right? And you let it all go and you go, okay, I'm just going to share space with this animal and be in this space of love. And then when you leave that space, you're like, wow, I don't care as much as I did about this argument. I don't care as much as I did about being right, right? So the animals really have the power to heal us if we're open to that. And that's something that we encourage everyone in the Let Animals Lead way. And if you go into a therapy center and support the animals, you're going to get so much out of this. So not only are you going to be there supporting the animals and helping them feel loved and appreciated, but you're also going to feel the same. And then, Nancy had so Nancy Crow couldn't be here, but she had a really great tip of when you're with the animals, pay close attention to what they're sharing with you during your sessions. And that would be like body positions and body movement, because one of the things we never want to do, and it's like, we're offering this beautiful thing, right? We're offering love, we're offering this beautiful calm space. Some animals might not trust it. They might not trust us if it's the first time we're doing it. So we want to watch their body language and see what they're sharing with us. Are they sharing acceptance, or are they sharing, hey, you need to get out of here, you need to back off? And in that case, you can go to a different animal, you can go outside. I wouldn't necessarily stop, because what you're sharing is just love. So you can just sit outside, maybe the barn area or wherever they are, or the facility, and sit outside and just meditate and dedicate your meditation to the animals. And then also that helps them to get used to your energy. So when you come back the second time, they might be, oh yeah, you're the person that's just, you don't want to work us, you don't want to ride us, or you don't want us, to do anything for you. All you want is to sit and share this beautiful space. So I thought that was a really great tip from Nancy about just watching their body movements. And then she also said, like, when we talk about ethical considerations and practices, that put the animals first, but be kind and compassionate to the humans that are involved in their care and maybe their training. Don't get sucked into disagreements or drama, and don't repeat what you hear or what anyone tells you without the, is this true? Is it kind? Is it fair? Is it necessary test, right? And I love that Nancy shared that. It's kind of like we always say in Let Animals Lead, whatever you're going to share or say it through the veil of the precepts. Say it without anger, say it without worry, be humble, be honest, and be compassionate, right? And so I really think when you're considering the ethical considerations and practices, know that you are there to support the animals. You are also there to support the people, but the only way you can really support the people sometimes is just by being in the energy of love. You don't need to be telling them, oh, hey, I saw you doing this was wrong, or anything like that. You can just be open to sharing love with the humans. And the humans, it's really crazy how it works. They will change. They will come around. And in the Let Animals Lead method, we follow a very strict code of ethics. We always pledge to honor the animals' agency and sensitivities, and we honor the humans that care for them. We never intervene. And I'm telling you right now, there are studies about this. There were peace projects. If you can be peaceful and loving, you can create change. So don't get sucked into, oh my gosh, this is never going to get better. These people are awful. Just know that these people are doing the best they can with what they have, and your loving presence can create change and create healing. So we also have a little bit of information about how you can contact a therapy center. But I think what I'll do right now is I'm going to open it up to Dawn. And then after Dawn talks, I'm also going to open it up to Alice, because Alice is reading a really great book about this very subject. And so I wanted to kind of share like her insights and takeaways, but I'm not sure. Let's see where Dawn is. If Dawn can unmute. And hey, Eddie, and hey, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. And hey, Carolyn. I'm not sure I said hello. Hey, so Dawn, I'm not sure if you're able to be on.
I've got my camera on.
Okay, perfect. Then let me go to speaker. Perfect. For some reason, it's just showing me.
And now I can't hear you, Leah.
I had
you muted.
I'm trying to put myself on mute because the camera wouldn't get off me. So I'm gonna.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to come back before I talk about the animals. I want to come back to the people issue, because your talk really reminded me of an occasion where I used Reiki on a relationship as opposed to being directly on a person or animal. So I had a client who was very upset about the condition of the neighbor's horse, and she really wanted to do something. She wanted to rescue the horse, but she didn't have permission. It was not hers. She didn't have permission. And, she's like, can you do something? And I said, I don't have permission. You don't have care, custody, and control. And so what I suggested is that we work on her relationship with the neighbor so that she would be comfortable going and talking to the neighbor. So we used the Reiki to work on her relationship. And so again, this isn't, I'm not doing hands on the person. I'm doing meditative, energetic work. And what it helped her do was find a way to approach her neighbor. And she approached them and said, I really miss my horse. I'm not in a position to get another one right now. Could I borrow your horse for a little bit each day? Just walk him over to graze. I have lots of grass to graze in the grass. and, you know, maybe brush him a little bit, just because I need it. And he was perfectly willing to do that. So because she was taking care of the horse then, and she would slip the horse some grain, you know, not where he would see it, but slip him some grain. The horse started looking better. She was grooming him. Well, then the man started taking better care of his horse because she was also caring for the horse. So sometimes what we're doing when we're working with therapy is we're working on the relationships. And so we're not, you know, it's about opening up that space to work on relationships. And I've worked with both horses that are used for therapy, and I've worked with a lot of dogs that are used for therapy. And one of the things that's really key to helping a lot of the dogs is that is to work on the relationship between and that comes back to the relationship, is to, in the intention perhaps with the meditation, that the Reiki also go to the relationship between the animal and the handler. Because people don't, I find a difference between dogs and horses. With the horses, a lot of times the people I'm working with realize that the horses can get stressed, and it won't come out when they're actually working with a handicapped person, but it will come out when they're with the people who support them. And so they need a release. The Reiki is really important. The helping them find that peace, like a safe, peaceful session just to relax, is really important. But horse, my experience has been the horse people tend to recognize it faster that their animals are stressed, and dog people often don't. Dogs are better at masking sometimes, but dog people don't. And if they haven't found a way for their dogs to release some of the tension and anxiety they take on, it can be a problem. And so it comes back not just to providing that space for the animal, but also working on the relationship with the person, and to including the relationships in your intention for your meditation, that the energy bring peace, and you can do peace, compassion, loving kindness to the relationship between the person and the animal, so that they also recognize when the animal needs and wants some help to adjust. And that's really important. And I think the other thing that, Leah, did you want me to talk about finding someone to work with, like a rescue to work with? Was that the other thing?
No, I think the other thing was when you were telling me about the one rescue and how it was focused on positivity. But yeah, you can also talk about.
Oh yeah. So there's a horse and farm animal rescue I'm working with now that is focused on positivity. And I like it because once the animal gets there, and their horses typically come from kill pens or auctions where that's likely where their next stop is a kill pen. Their view and the way they ask all their animals, whether it's a horse, cow, llama, pig, whatever, they ask that you treat that animal as this is the beginning of their new life. You don't focus at all on what they've been through, but you focus on helping them be the best they can from that day forward. And by having that positive focus, it helps the animal move into their new life, adjust to it, move into their new life, feel safe and comfortable, because you don't bring up the past and what happened. And I'm also an animal communicator, so it doesn't mean I might not be asked to help with communication to solve an issue. But when I'm there and I'm offering, I'm doing a meditation, offering Reiki, I'm doing it with the viewpoint that they have, that the animal is already whole, that I'm whole, the animal's whole, and I'm just holding space and inviting them to be in this calm, healing space with me. And I think that's a really important distinction, because most of the dog rescues, dog cat rescues I've worked with tend to focus a lot on how broken the animals are when they come in. They get wrapped up in what's the history, what's the backstory, how broken they are. And I don't find that as helpful in helping the animals heal. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to whip out my post-trauma stabilizer flower essence because it's helpful, or or something similar, but it's it's easier to get an animal to relax if you treat them as whole, like Hope Ranch does. And I think starting to work with them last spring really helped me focus on that. They're whole, they're safe here, they can be whole. We want them to be the best that they can be, and not worrying about what they've been through, but worrying about how you can help them be better going forward. And now I'm trying to encourage the more dog cat rescue, or primarily dog rescues I work with, to adopt that same approach and begin to look at the animals more as a whole. They're a whole being. How can we help them move forward? Not what can we do to erase the past, but how can we help them move forward from here? How can we see them as whole so that we can help them find their best match for a new home.
Yeah, I love that, because that's so important. And that's what we teach, right? Just seeing that wholeness, seeing with our hearts and not our eyes, recognizing that they are a whole being. It's just what's happening on the outside may not look that great to us. And I love that Monica said the relationship Reiki is such a great idea. I really love it. Thank you for sharing, Dawn. Yeah, that was really powerful. To remind us that we can heal a relationship. It doesn't have to be the actual Reiki for a person or Reiki for that particular animal. It can be for that relationship. And I really love that. But I also would love for you to share just like how you found, Bruce said, to acknowledge the animal is one of the most important and helpful things you can do to improve their current condition. Absolutely. And I was really hoping you could, as you said, kind of talk about how to find a good place.
I found Hope by accident because I started looking. There's actually a very large, it's not a rescue, but there's a very large horse stable across the street from me. And they've no one there. I have a client that once in a while boards there, but there's no one there who was really we were offering free things. I just wanted somewhere for my students to practice. And I started asking some of my clients in the area who they might know. And so I had a location I already knew about, but it was too far away to take students that were at my home for a class. It was too far to go to Indiana to the other place that I do work with in our time frame. So I was looking for somewhere closer, and I just started asking some of my clients who are active in the area. And one of them is a photographer who does a lot of animal work, and she introduced me to the person who runs Hope. And then Christina came and took my I actually met her. She took my animal communication class, and then I asked her if I could bring both communication and Reiki students out there to practice. And they're happy to have them because any additional work the animals can get. She herself is a Reiki master, so she was really open to it, but she doesn't teach. And she was really open to anything that would help the animals there. But her one caveat then was they're whole. So you just have to remind your students about our philosophy. Everything here, all these animals are whole. What we're doing is trying to improve things. We're trying to reduce stress, improve their lives going forward, help them cope with change, all those kinds of things. So I asked around, I just started asking around. And I have a lot of contacts in the rescue community, but they're mostly dog and cat. And I was looking for somewhere with a variety of animals to use for practice. And that's how I found them. And Elsa's Acres, which is in Indiana, I found because I was doing work. I'd been like the person who runs that was referred to me for her personal dog by one of my clients. And now I've done work with them as well.
So really just kind of putting yourself out there and
Putting
asking.
yourself out there
Mhm.
and asking around, who do you know? And one of my former teaching colleagues, it turned out, also knew about the same time that my photographer client, about the same time she gave me the contact at Hope. Like 2 days later, I got the same contact information from someone I used to teach with, who said, "Hey, this is my friend is doing this out by you. You want to touch base with her?" And I laughed because like 2 days earlier I'd gotten it from the same thing. So like everyone was pointing me there. And I think I got a third referral from someone else to Hope. And it's, from a philosophy standpoint, it's just a really good fit. But you have to look, because some rescues are absolutely not open to you going in there and working with them.
Yeah. And
Or they want you only if you're going to be a volunteer and clean kennels, and they don't want to take advantage of any other skills you have.
right. And that's why we have to look, but also sometimes if you get in, as somebody who's doing cleaning and stuff, and you just ask, oh, could I sit with the animals just to meditate, they'll let you do that sometimes. But again, you're going to have to, like you said, Dawn, do some research. Mary Lynn had a question about the post-trauma oil, but
post-trauma. Okay, so 20 years ago, one of my
Dawn,
veterinarians taught me.
Time out. I'm gonna let's answer that last, because I want to keep the flow of going, and then we'll go just for the sake of.
I can put that in chat.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll come back. I just want to open it to Alice, and then close this little section with just some tips on what to say. And then, because I think other people are going to be very interested in that as well. So thank you for that. And then Alice, hello.
Hi, thank you. I agree with everything that everybody said. And I particularly agree with the thing about animals not really wanting to be taken back to their traumatic past. I find that they just don't want to go there. Just to sort of say that as well. So yeah, I was going to talk about this book, which is called The Horse Leads the Way. It's honoring the true role of the horse in equine facilitated practice, and it's written by someone called Angela Dunning, who is actually British, but she trained with Linda Kohanoff in the States quite a lot. And the book is really, I think, written for practitioners of animal-assisted therapy. But it's also I found it very interesting to read it and look at her methods and what she's trying to teach them in the attitude that, is helpful for them to have. And it sort of makes you realize what a very complicated area it is in working with the animals. And she does sort of emphasize the listening and the observing and standing back, letting the animals teach you rather than going in with your agenda. And that there is a lot of pressure really with these sessions, possibly from the clients or other people, that they want some sort of success or outcome. And they may have an idea of what that would be, but that sort of takes away from letting the animals actually teach, which is that's a really helpful point. It's just really interesting. I haven't managed to read it. I just sort of skimmed through it. And then she does emphasize how, the practitioners need to constantly be doing work on themselves to make sure that they're balanced and that they haven't sort of gone off track, and that they're letting the animals do the work, because otherwise it sort of impedes what should be happening. What else? It's written lots of notes. Just that there are pressures on the people, the practitioners, and some of it is time pressure. They might have a sort of certain length of time where people are expecting this to happen. And that's not really the way that it happens with the animals, because you have to just let them do things. And if things are not in balance, then the animals can just not really want to take part in it. And again, that sort of negates the whole problem, the whole idea. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested in animal communicators and to see whether they get an idea of how the animals experience the therapy work, you know, how it actually sort of does impact on them, and what can be maybe be done to make it easier for them. But I completely get the idea that you have to be very tactful. You can't just sort of walk in and say, you know, I don't like the way you're doing this, or, you know, can I help with this kind of thing. Obviously it's quite a sort of difficult area to, you know, how to put it to them, and maybe they're not interested. But I think this is actually a really good book for anyone who is involved in this sort of work, because it just lays everything out, and it's very much on the lines of what we're doing, really.
Yeah, I think it's very much in alignment. I mean, she sees the animals as teachers and healers. She talks about respect. She talks about, you know, paying attention to their physical, you know, indicators of what they're comfortable with and not comfortable with. And then she talks a lot about, you know, being supportive of the humans in this as well. And I really love that you brought this up, because it's, oh, and then Claudia said, great tip, Alice, thank you. And then Melissa said, what's the book name? I put it here in the chat. I'll copy it again and put it. It's Horse Leads the Way by Angela Dunning. But also in this book, that's very helpful is, if you're going to be working with horses, obviously this is Horse Central, is that she tells you a lot of the body movements. So if you're not really familiar with horses and their cues, or even if you are, it's a really good refresher. Didn't you think, Alice?
Absolutely. And also that the practitioners really need to understand the animals to be able to interpret whatever. Otherwise, it's very difficult, I think, if you don't actually pick up on the signals.
Yeah, I mean, a horse could be telling you very clearly you need to back off, and if you're not listening, you're actually adding stress. Oh, no problem, Melissa. You're actually adding stress to the issue instead of helping the issue. So I really appreciated you reaching out about, one, this topic, but two, about the book, because for those of you who are interested in therapy with horses, this is a really great primer kind of for you, and it can really help guide you on how to be with horses. So thank you so much, Alice. I really appreciate that. And you know what? And that's what I love about our community, right? So if you have a topic or you have something you want to share, reach out to me. Let me know. You can just respond to the Zoom confirmation that you get. I think that goes to us. And just let me know what you want to talk about, or if you want to share something. It's really important that as a community that we share what we're learning, what we're doing, what's helping us to grow, because, you know, I don't know everything. I would never say I know everything. And it's just really cool that we have people like Dawn and Alice and Kelly and everyone that always comes in and helps support us. So thank you. And also the comments, I really appreciate Bruce and Monica, your comments. So thank you for that as well. So I'd love to turn it back over to Dawn. And Dawn, I don't know if you have any like comments about what Alice has just shared, but then we'll also segue into, oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to have you hold that for a minute, because now I totally forgot that I have something more to share. So if you do want to go to a therapy center, right? Make sure you're doing your research. Like I said at the very beginning, it's going to really help you. And then what would you want to say, right? What are your key messaging points? You want to make sure you have a really nice, kind and loving introduction. You know, I understand that you're caring for horses. I love the work you're doing. I actually do something that's very complimentary. It's called the Let Animals Lead method, or whatever you're doing, meditation, something like that. And then talk about your goal. Your goal is to complement the wonderful work they're already doing and to help support the horses and the human caregivers. And then you want to talk collaboration and respect. I believe working collaboratively with therapy centers, respecting your expertise and protocols, and always putting the well-being of the horses first. And then you can also offer to do kind of a little introductory demonstration or a workshop. You can also offer that. So you just want to make sure that you're kind of touching all of the things, you know, just introducing what you do, and you can emphasize the benefits of what we do. And then don't take it personally if they say no, or if they don't respond. If they don't respond, just, you know, every week or so follow up with them, but don't take it personally if they say no. That's okay. Sometimes people have to know more about something, you know, they really care about their animals. So they want to make sure that they're not bringing in something that would actually be harmful to their animals. They don't know you. They don't know the let animals lead method. So sending links also to the Shelter Animal Reiki Association, to Kathleen's website, just to information about what we do and why we do it. So I wanted to just say that really quickly, and now I'll turn it over to Dawn to comment on what Alice was sharing about the book, and then also to share about the flower essences.
Well, Dunning's book is great, and you know, and I guess I'm lucky. I've had a lot of horse experience, but I'm going to tell you, when I take students to Hope, there is a horse there that will pick out the student who is not following directions every time. And I know, and it will always be someone with no horse experience who gets head-butted because they're not paying attention. And they're not doing what the way I've suggested to approach things. So horses are very perceptive. But I think I heard Dunning speak at some horse event at some point. I can't remember when, and I was really really impressed. And I've got the book. I have to admit to not reading the whole thing, but I have the book, that book. So that's very good. And the other thing I wanted to comment quick, I put the link for post-trauma stabilizer in chat. It is not an oil, it's an essence, and that makes it much safer to use with animals. And I literally, when it goes on sale, it's usually on sale in the spring, I buy a case at a time, because it is my go-to for helping animals release deep trauma. And it comes usually as a spray, but I will usually put a dropper in instead and use 3 or 4 drops 2 to 3 times a day when I'm working with an animal, or have their caregiver do that. And it's just one of the best I've found. It's also good after disasters for people. It's just really good. Anyway, I put the link in there, and if Leah wants.
Dawn, how do you use it? You're saying 2 to 3 drops. Do you put it in their water?
So it can go for an animal. It can go in the mouth, on the skin, on food or a treat, or in their drinking water. Same thing for people. It's going to work fastest if you drop it under your tongue, but you can put it on your skin. You can use it in whatever essences. If I'm using some for me, they go in my bottle of drinking water for the day, and then I get a little every time I sip. And there's a number. If you want to schedule me for some Wednesday just to talk about essences as a support, I'd be happy to do that, because I've got 20 years experience with multiple companies and multiple trainings. But there are some that I found very useful in supporting the animal work I do. And this is the one I also use a lot of grief relief, or grief and loss. There are 2 different companies make a really good grief formula for people or animals. There's some for fear. I've used one called Show Cats when I was teaching college. I used it, offered it to my students who had public speaking phobia. So, some of them, just because they're like, oh yeah, it's for cats, it's going to help me. But but that whole thing about, it's supposed to help, then it does if you believe it. But it's just something, if somebody wants more information, I would be happy to do it on another day where that's that's more the focus, or things that can support our work.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Thank you so much for that. limited information because it's really helpful. And I again pasted the link. And then Bruce said, I'm currently working with the wild horses being held in Rock Springs Holding Facility. A new group of 500 plus is coming in on the 13th of August. So this information is greatly appreciated. That's wonderful. Thank you, Bruce, for coming. And yeah, this has been a really helpful call. So really quickly, does anybody, I'm going to put this on gallery view. Does anybody have any questions before we go into our meditation? Covered a lot of information here today. And if you have questions either for Dawn or
Yeah, I also dropped my email into the chat as well.
thank you so much for that. So you can reach out to Dawn with questions, and we will have Dawn maybe in a couple weeks. I'll work with Dawn on a date that she can come and talk to you guys more about flower essences and the success that she's had and how you all can use it. That would be great. Thank you, Dawn, for that generous offer. See, I love community. We have so much knowledge in this community, and I just love it. So if no one has any other questions, let us go into a heartfelt meditation that we will dedicate to all therapy animals. So let us get nice and centered in our bodies, bring our hands into Gasho, and close your eyes to close out all outside distractions. And we'll just do some cleansing breaths here. Breathing in, oh, here, let me mute. Breathing in deeply through, pulling your breath deeply into your stomach, expand your stomach, and then slowly release your breath out your mouth, making sure that your out breath is a little bit longer than your in breath. And so just a couple more of these, breathing in very deeply into your belly, and then slowly releasing that breath out your mouth. And with the breath goes any stress or tension you're holding onto in your body. Allowing this breath to bring relaxation and comfort to your mind, to your body, to your heart. And let us take a moment to set our intention that we are open to receive whatever it is that we need most at this moment in time. And that we are dedicating this beautiful healing circle we are creating to all sentient beings, but most especially to the therapy animals. And knowing and acknowledging that our energy, our love will reach all who are open to it and all who need it. And whenever you're ready, you can put your hands face up or face down in your lap. And just bring your breath to a nice, normal, calm state, breathing in through your nose and releasing your breath either through your mouth or through your nose, whichever is most comfortable. I just want you to just focus on breathing into your belly and expanding your breath in your belly and releasing it. Just bringing a nice, calm, peaceful state to your body. And now I'd like you to focus to breathing into your heart. As you breathe in, expand your heart area. And as you breathe out, feel love expanding throughout your entire body. We breathe in love and light, expand that love and light in our hearts, and let that love and light expand throughout our body on the out breath. We focus on our heart. We focus on love. And I want you to focus on that beautiful energy of love filling your entire body. Allow yourself to be happy, to feel loved, to feel strong. You are a beautiful, loving being. And the light and love from your heart is limitless. As we breathe in and out, amplifying the love and light at our heart, envision the light coming from your heart and filling the space around you, enveloping you in a beautiful glow of love and light. As you breathe in and out, the light within you grows stronger and stronger until you're like the sun, a big, beautiful globe of light. Your love shining everywhere. This is who you are at your true essence. You are love. You are compassion. You are joy. This is who you truly are. And as we breathe in and out, envision your light growing brighter and brighter, shining farther and farther. Like the sun, your light shines with no intention to heal or fix. It just shines and spreads love. I'd like you to bring to mind that there be animals. It can be dogs, cats, horses. Just envision a huge, huge area, and they are all filling this area. Now see your beautiful light shining down. For those that are open, the light goes into their hearts. For those who are more hesitant, maybe the light just kind of bounces off. Or maybe there's shade and they just go stand in the shade. But envision your light and your love surrounding these beautiful animals. Send them that beautiful energy of gratitude for all they do, appreciation for the beautiful work they are doing to help heal humans. And as you send your love and your gratitude, you might start to feel your love and gratitude being mirrored back. As they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel appreciated. In this beautiful space of love and light, they realize that they are loved, they are appreciated, and they are needed. And just allow yourself to be in this beautiful energy, knowing that this light and love that you share is being accepted and being mirrored back to you. In this beautiful space, we acknowledge we are all one. And when we feel love and light, we can elevate others. I'd like you to slowly bring your focus back to your breath, back into the room, but keep that beautiful vision of your love and light shining on these beautiful animals with you. Keep it with you throughout your day so that anytime you might think of these therapy animals, you send love and light. We bring our hands into Gasho and we give thanks to all who joined us. And we give thanks to ourselves for being here. And you rub your hands together and bring yourself back. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you so much, Alice. I really appreciate all that you shared. And thanks to all of you for being here. Thank you to those of you who mentioned in the chat. And Eddie, I'm going to say goodbye in case you listen again. And Bruce, thank you so much for reminding us about the horses so we can send love and light to these beautiful horses that are being rounded up. So thank you all so much. I will see you next week, and we're going to continue our theme of love, and we're going to talk more about this. And then I'll work with Dawn and get out a date where she can come and share about flower essences, because that's something. Yeah. Olive, did you have something to say?
I just want to say thank you to Dawn for this information on the flower essences. Thank you, Leah. This was a wonderful presentation. And Alice, I'm going to look up that book. So this is really, I have 3 equine therapy horses in my practice. Oh, wow. And this has helped given me just a kind of a different way to look at things. I thank you for that, Dawn, especially because this is very new to me. And your information was very helpful today. I thank you for that. Okay, going. That's it.
Thank you. And
everybody.
Mary Lynn had something she wanted to say. No.
No, this is, I wanted to ask you if I could speak with you briefly after all this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So
thank you.
Thank you so much. I will see you next Wednesday.